Good morning children. In the previous video we have discussed what is actually economic development. We have discussed what are the things which are included. On the basis of those things, qualities, features, we can decide that a country is developing, a country is developed. Economic development is taking place. We have studied the comparison between economic development and economic growth. We have not only discussed that what are national income, per capita income, but what are the features of developing nation or the features of a developed nation. We have calculated per capita income by dividing the total national income by total population. We can calculate the per capita income by dividing the national income by total population of a country. Then per capita income is per head how much money per head. If we distribute equally to everyone, then how much per head income will be earned. Generally, per capita income is decided by World Bank. But because there is increase in population, even if there is increase in per capita income, it is not constant. Then whatever services, goods, commodities, products, minerals, everything which is produced in India, in your country, that is GDP. Gross domestic production, also known as national income. What are the features of a developed country or a developing country? We have studied 9 features. First is per capita income is less, developing country. Population growth is high, developing country. Dependence on agriculture, developing country. Unequal distribution of income, developing country. Unemployment, developing country. Poverty, developing country. Dual economy, developing country. Insufficient infrastructure, developing country. Form of international trade, developing country. Then we discussed economic and non-economic activities. The activities which gives you benefit in exchange to your service, your goods, your money, your product. Whereas which cannot give you, the activities which cannot give you back about any benefit, then it is non-economic activity. If you are a businessman, suppose if you are a tailor, if you stitch clothes for others, you get something in exchange to it. It can be money, it can be commodity, it can be services. Then it is economic activity. But if I stitch my own clothes, then it is not economic activity. Right? Because in return to it, I am not getting anything or benefit. Economic and non-economic activities we have discussed. Now we are going to start structure of Indian economy. Structure of Indian economy. Various occupations and activities. Economic activities are classified in 3 sections. Basically all the economic activities which contributes in economy. economic activities are basically classified on the basis of three sectors. Three sectors are there: primary sector, secondary sector and service sector. Primary sector, secondary sector and service sector. This classification of economic activity are recognized as commercial structure. These all three sectors are called as commercial sectors. Commercial structure, why? Because these are economic activities. They are going to benefit you as well as your nation. All the three sections and activities included in them may be discussed as follows. Now we can discuss what are included in these sectors. First of all, primary sector. Agriculture and agriculture related activities such as cattle rearing, cattle breeding, fishing, poultry farm, collection of forest products, mining of raw metal, etc. are included in primary sector section. Whatever raw material is grown in the field in agriculture, rearing the cows, rearing the buffalo, goat, hen, then keeping fish, all these things are included in primary sector. Primary, where raw material is basically made. And secondary sector is when the things are processed here. Raw material collected from here, processed here. Suppose a farmer grows wheat, primary sector. When it is made into flour, made into bread, made into biscuits, then it is secondary, where it is processed. When it is distributed all over in shops, then it is service sector. So, small and large scale industries, factories, construction, electricity, gas, water supply are included in this section. This section is also acknowledged as industry, which includes production from small pin to gigantic machines. Whatever is processed, steel, primary sector, they took out the ore, they filtered the steel. Secondary sector processed it into utensils. जो ओरिजिनल निकला था उसको हमने प्रोसेस किया सेकेंडरी सेक्टर में. सेकेंडरी सेक्टर में प्रोसेस होने के बाद दे टर्न इनटू यूटेंसिल्स. अब यूटेंसिल्स को शॉपकीपर्स ऑल ओवर बेच रहे हैं, देन इट इज सर्विस सेक्टर. प्राइमरी में ओर वाज टेकन आउट, सेकेंडरी में द ओर वाज प्रोसेस्ड एंड मेड इनटू commodities, and service में it was distributed all over, right? So whatever comes in raw form, that is primary sector. Suppose a milkman keeps the cows, he has a dairy, then it is primary sector. When he gave the milk to industry or any farm to make it butter, cheese, curd, anything, then it is processed here, then it is secondary sector. When the thing it is distributed all over, then it is service sector. Services provided. Raw material was grown here, it was processed in secondary sector and circulated, distributed all over, then it is service sector. Okay. Different types of services are included in this section. Services like trade, communication, airways, waterways, education, health, banking, insurance, tourism, entertainment are included in this sector. Banking, what they produce? Nothing. They give their services. They help you out in opening an account, maintaining your account, utilizing your money. Teacher, she is or he is coming in the class, giving you knowledge, helping you to understand the lesson, then she is or he is producing, they are providing you their services. And if a businessman is there who is working in railways, they give you services. If they are working in hospitals are giving you services. Then insurance companies, then radio channels, TV channels, these all are giving you service. Communication facility, cable facility, mobile facility. When they are giving you network, then it is service sector. But when they are manufacturing mobile, then it is secondary sector. When they are manufacturing plastic, primary sector. Secondary sector, they are making mobile. Service sector, then they are providing you facilities of communication, like giving you SIM card, then giving you facilities of internet, communication, tower, frequency, all these are service sector. Tourism also, they give you facility to explore the things, to see the people, the things, the culture around you. So I hope this much is clear to you. Primary sector, whatever raw material is taken away. Secondary, when it is processed and made into something. And service sector, when it is, the services are provided. इसमें भी हमें रॉ मटेरियल में भी कमोडिटी मिल रही है, प्रोसेसिंग होने पे भी हमें कमोडिटी मिल रही है, बट सर्विस सेक्टर में कोई भी कमोडिटी नहीं मिलती है. सर्विस इटसेल्फ इज अ सेक्टर. Normally the primary sector dominates in developing country. Normally the primary sector dominates in developing countries. Primary sector contributes. Normally the primary sector, raw material sector, is dominating in, one of the feature is of the developing country is primary sector is the most contributing sector. One of the feature of developing country is primary sector is the sector which is giving mostly in the contributing in the economy. Primary sector contributes the most in employment generation and national income. Primary sector gives you national income and mostly gives in employment generation. People are dependent of their own, they create their own employment, they are farming, so there is no need for government to produce any employment for them. However, as there is rise in economic development, significance of primary sector decreases in comparison to secondary sector and service sector, and importance of industrial sector and service sector increases. When the country is developing, the country is developed, the contribution of this sector is less, whereas these two sectors are dominating. This sector contributes less, these two are contributing more, secondary sector and service sector. So these two sectors will dominate in developed country. Importance of in industrial sector and service sector. This is also called as industrial sector. Commercial, industrial sector as well as commercial sector. So, factors of production. Let's discuss the factors of production. As we have already discussed the three sectors of economic activity, primary, secondary and service sector. Now, primary sector, where not only primary, all the sectors, what things are included to produce anything, to make something, these four things are important. These four are called factors of production. Factors why? Because even if anything is missing out of these four, then production is not possible. Production is not possible if anything is missing out of these four factors which will decide your production. If you have land is area specific. can be field, it can be for establishing the industry. Capital, if you don't have money to invest, ना आपके पास सीड खरीदने के पैसे हैं, ना फर्टिलाइजर के, ना मशीनरी खरीदने के, अगर तब भी आपका प्रोडक्शन पॉसिबल नहीं है. लेबर पावर, यानी कि आपके पास अगर मैन पावर नहीं है टू डू द टास्क, तो भी प्रोडक्शन पॉसिबल नहीं है. Entrepreneur, entrepreneur who keeps all these three things together, they are called entrepreneur. Entrepreneur कहे जाते हैं जो ये तीन चीज़ों को साथ में एक साथ कंबाइन करके यूज कर पाते हैं. They are called entrepreneurship. Now, land. Production is done with the help of natural resources and labor. Natural resources, raw material we get from nature. चाहे वो ग्रेन्स हो, पोल्ट्री फार्म हो, या डेयरी फार्म हो, या फिर आपका मिनरल ओर्स निकालने हैं, उनको मैन्युफैक्चर करना है, उनको फिल्टर करके यू हैव टू मेक समथिंग यूजफुल. चाहे वो ग्रेन, चाहे कॉटन सीड्स के थ्रू आपको ग्रेन उगाने के बाद यू वांट टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू क्लोथ्स. ठीक है, तो अगर आप कपास यानी कि कॉटन ग्रो करते हैं तो वो प्राइमरी सेक्टर है. जब आपको प्रोसेस होकर थ्रेड में या क्लोथ्स में कन्वर्ट होता है देन इट इज सेकेंडरी सर्विस, राइट. सो प्रोडक्शन इज डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज एंड लेबर. डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टूल्स आर यूज्ड फॉर प्रोडक्शन. The tools like bullock cart, tractor, sickle, labor, land, etc. are associated with production of food grain. Food grain grow करने के लिए bullock carts या tractors compulsory है. You need it. Then sickle आपको चाहिए. Sickle is to dig it out. Land चाहिए. Labor चाहिए to put it inside, etc. associated with the production of food grains. So all these equipments, tool, manpower is needed to grow anything. These are the different types of factors of production, but to make study easy, these factors are divided into 4 parts. All those things which are needed for the production are divided into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. First is land, capital, labor, entrepreneurship. Land. In normal sense, land is the upper layer of surface. Land is basically the upper layer of the surface of earth. But in terms of economic, land means different types of natural resources which include forest, river, mountain, minerals, etc. in the interior of the earth, metals, etc. present in the earth's surface. Thus, land is natural tool for production. Land here doesn't mean only soil or land part, but here whatever is you get on the land, it can be forest, it can be river, it can be mineral ores, it can be इंटीरियर में जो मिलने वाली चीज़ें हैं, मेटल्स हैं, ओर्स हैं, other things also, वो सब कुछ इसमें included है. So it is also called that it is a natural resource. Whatever natural resource is available, whatever natural resources are included in this, it can be rivers, it can be rivers, mineral, soil, then it can be mountains, etc. Anything can be inside it. Natural resources, में whatever is available on the land, then it is natural resource and it is called as land factor. Second is capital, man-made, whatever is man-made. So whatever is man-made, instruments helpful in production process such as instruments, tool, houses, etc. are included in capital, property, assets and investment. Capital में if you want to arrange money for purchasing the land, then making a house, a complete structure, then providing all machinery, then providing all basic needs, water supply, electricity supply, whatever is man has arranged, then it is capital investment. Capital investment, capital is related to money. मनी जो भी इन्वेस्ट होता है, चाहे वो बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन में हो, लैंड खरीदने में हो, सीड्स खरीदने में हो, या टूल्स एंड मशीनरी खरीदने में हो, या फिर प्रोडक्शन के लिए एसेट्स खरीदने के लिए हो, चाहे वो आपका प्रॉपर्टी में हो या इन्वेस्टमेंट हो, ऑल मनी रिलेटेड थिंग्स आर इन दिस. नाउ कम टू लेबर पावर. लिविंग फैक्टर्स, जितने भी लिविंग फैक्टर्स हैं जो अपना लेबर देते हैं किसी चीज को प्रोड्यूस करने में, देन इट इज लेबर. लेबर मीन्स मेंटल और फिजिकल वर्क डन विद द एम टू ऑब्टेन मॉनेटरी गेन. लेबर इज अ लिविंग फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. वर्क ऑफ फार्म लेबर्स, वर्कर्स, टीचर्स, डॉक्टर्स, आर्टिसंस etc. is called labor. Doctors, laborers, teachers, workers, painters, musicians, all those who are putting their power into the work, they are included in labor. Those who are working with the brain, they are included in labor. Suppose a scientist who uses his mind to invent something, then it's a manpower. Intelligent power, manpower. So whatever is living, that is labor. That comes in the labor. Entrepreneurship, as I told you, who coordinates all these things. One. Now see, if I am a person who wants to make to establish a factory of cement, I have a place where I can establish my factory, but मेरे पास raw material नहीं है, right? तो मैंने अपने एक फ्रेंड को कॉल करके पूछा उसके पास अगर नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज यानी कि रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल हो, then she said yes, I am ready to give you. अब मेरे पास फैक्ट्री स्टैब्लिश करने की जगह है, रॉ मटेरियल भी है, बट इतना पैसा नहीं है कि मैं रॉ मटेरियल को वहाँ से अपने प्लेस ऑफ फैक्ट्री तक ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकूँ. देन आई आस्क्ड वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स टू डू दिस फेवर टू गिव मी मनी. देन माई फ्रेंड सेड यस, ओके, आई एम रेडी टू गिव यू मनी. उसने हमारे बिजनेस में पैसे लगाए, ठीक है, बिजनेस में पैसे लगाए जिससे कि मैं रॉ मटेरियल को अपने फैक्ट्री तक ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकूं. अब मुझे मैन पावर की ज़रूरत थी जो मशीनरीज को हैंडल कर सके, जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन से जो भी सामान आता है उसको लोड कर सके, अनलोड कर सके, तो मुझे लेबर पावर की ज़रूरत थी. देन आई टॉक टू वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड और उसने कहा कि शी विल प्रोवाइड ऑल लेबर पावर, शी विल प्रोवाइड मी वर्कमैन. वो मुझे वर्कर्स देगी. वर्कर्स हो गए मेरे पास जो उस मशीनरी को संभाल सके, प्रोडक्शन का रॉ मटेरियल को लोड अनलोड कर सके, प्रोड्यूस हो चुके कमोडिटी को लोड अनलोड कर सके, ठीक है. देन आई एम अ एंटरप्रेन्योर. व्हाई एंटरप्रेन्योर? बिकॉज आई हैव borrowed things from different people and established one business, producing one commodity, producing one sector. Then I am a entrepreneur. I am a entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. The person who efficiently combines the three factors of production, land, capital and labor, is called entrepreneur. The process of coordinating the three factors, process of coordinating these three factors is known as entrepreneurship, is known as entrepreneurship. We have discussed the land factor, what comes in the land factor, what comes in capital. Capital is basically money, investment. Then labor, whatever manpower is used, then it is labor. And the person, the group of people, the coordination of people who combine all these three things in one, they are called entrepreneurs. Now let's discuss the distribution of factor of production. Now we are going to discuss distribution of factors of production. As we know that resources are very limited. Land is limited. We have machinery very limited. Manpower very limited. Fixed investment we have. Limited things are there. So how we can manage it to produce the maximum production can be done, and the optimum use of the resources can be done. Without wasting the resources, we can get the maximum use of that resource. So things are very limited, and how we can utilize it without wasting it. No? So let's begin with the first topic. Human wants are unlimited while resources to fulfill them are limited. You know that human wants are unlimited. If we can if we get something, we want something more from that, something more than that. Then once we achieve that, we want to go far than the previous achievement. So human wants are unlimited. We don't want to stop somewhere. We can say that we are too greedy. We want to do something more whatever we have achieved. But things are available very limited. So no nation of the world has resources in unlimited quantity. Nobody has unlimited quantity of anything. There will always be scarcity of factor of production. Of course, for some countries facing some scarcity, somebody has less land, somebody has less labor power, somebody are having less investment. So everybody they have to face scarcity. As a result, every country faces problems related to allocation of resources. Allocation is basically distribution of resources. So primary sector needs something, secondary sector needs something, service sector needs something. So how we can distribute the resources into these three sectors equally, that nobody gets excessive amount, nobody gets less amount, and every sector gets their needs fulfilled. Many questions arise, such as why, when and how much quantity of limited resources can be used. How, where we can use the limited number of resources. Thus, let's first how we can decide how resources can be distributed. First of all, we have to keep in mind that unlimited wants. We have unlimited wants. We get something, we want more than that. Human wants are uncountable and unlimited. So many wants originate from one want. Many requirements are to be fulfilled again and again, while many wants arise because of development of science and technology. Thus, because of many reasons, wants become unlimited. So in order to fulfill the wants, one has to make selection among wants. So we have unlimited wants. First of all, in the very beginning there were no vehicles, automobiles. Then we invented automobiles. Then afterwards we have wanted something more, so we invented airplanes. Then we wanted something more, then we invented aircrafts. Then we invented spacecrafts. Now we want to get settled on Mars. So that is, human wants are unlimited. This is just an example that human wants are unlimited. We want to explore every planet in the universe. So what we have to do? We have to make selection among unlimited bonds, that what is needed now, what is first priority, what is first thing which is needed, and how much quantity of the thing is needed, right? So that we are using commodities, we want to make something durable, then we made plastic, durable one. Now we are unable to understand that we should quit using the plastic or we should let the environment degrade. So we have to make selection that what is first of all what is necessary and how much quantity is needed. Plastic should be used, but how much quantity is used, it is the choice that we have to make selection that how much quantity is needed, where it is needed, and where it can be reduced, it can be ignored. So the things are there. We know the harmful effects, the scarcity of the products, the degradation of our environment, but we have to control our unlimited bonds. We have to control it. Important order in terms of necessity. Now we have to understand that what is necessary, that should be done first. The first resource should be given to the things which are needed, the basic needs. Car production is not basic need, but food production is basic need. So first of all, the resources should be allotted to fulfilling the needs of food rather than producing air conditioners, because air conditioners and cars and automobiles and these all are not necessity of a poor man. They are the basic. The basic need is food, shelter, clothes, health facility. So first of all, these resources should be given to allotted to the areas which we find that they are most important then as compared to any other need. So what should be the priority? First of all, where resources should be used, then whatever is left, then we can allocate little bit of amount to other sectors also. So first of all, we need to control our unlimited bonds. Then as per the need, important order should be made. As the sources to satisfy wants are limited, the individuals has to decide which want is more important. We have to make this choice that which is more important. First of all, what should be done? He has to satisfy his requirements in order of priority. Whichever requirement is more important, that has to be satisfied early and later on the other. Early or later, which is second, which is not priority, can be done afterwards. But whatever is our priority, we have to decide it, enlist it, that what are the priority, what are the basic needs. Then afterwards, we should think about the other requirements. Limited resources. We have very limited resources. Mineral ores, CNG gas, natural resources, trees, birds. These all are limited resources. How we can use it? Factors of production mainly includes natural wealth and man-made wealth. All these tools are limited, so they have to be utilized judiciously. Judiciously means very wisely, purposefully. What is needed, it should be done first. Other requirement should be postponed. Distribution of tools has to be done keeping selected bonds in the center. Selected bonds में ही हम इन सब चीज़ों को यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. कोल है, लिमिटेड है. एयर है, लिमिटेड है. बिकॉज ट्रीज आर लेस, सो वी हैव लेस अमाउंट. वाटर लिमिटेड है. सब कुछ लिमिटेड है, ऑल द रिसोर्सेज. बट हाउ वी कैन यूज इट टू इट्स मैक्सिमम विदाउट वेस्टिंग, पर्पसफुली कि हमें कौन सी फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटीज़ को फुलफिल करना है. Then resources should be used first on the topmost priorities, then to the next requirements of human life. Distribution of tools has to be done keeping selected bonds in the mind. Selected bonds has to be kept in the mind. Resources to satisfy demand are limited. Resources are very less. जितने भी तरीके हैं, जो भी चीज़ें हैं, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं या मैन मेड रिसोर्सेज हैं, वो सब लिमिटेड है. Not only this, they have alternative usage also. Every factor has alternative use. लेबर को भी हम डिफरेंट तरीके से यूज़ कर सकते हैं, लैंड को भी हम उस पर फैक्ट्री बना सकते हैं, फार्मिंग कर सकते हैं, पोल्ट्री फार्म ओपन कर सकते हैं, डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स ग्रो कर सकते हैं. सो एवरी फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन हैज इट्स मल्टी यूजेस. That is called alternative uses, means other uses also. Alternative uses means other uses also. और भी बहुत से यूजेस होते हैं फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन के, चाहे वो लैंड हो, कैपिटल हो. कैपिटल भी हम कई तरीके से यूज कर सकते हैं, कई जगह पे लगा सकते हैं. ठीक है, वैसे ही लेबर पावर और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, ये चारों फैक्टर्स जो हैं वो चारों फैक्टर्स को डिफरेंट तरीके से हम यूज कर सकते हैं, मतलब उनके अदर यूजेस भी हैं. सो लेट्स सपोज व्हेन एनी टूल ऑफ प्रोडक्शन मे बी यूटिलाइज्ड इन मोर देन वन वे. इफ एनी टूल इज यूज्ड more than any one way, more uses of one thing, it means the tool has multiple usage, other uses, multiple uses. So it may be said that this usage is alternative. For example, let's take one example. If wheat is sown in a land, bajra, maize, groundnut or any other yield cannot be cultivated. अगर लैंड में वीट लगा हुआ है तो इस लैंड में और कोई भी क्रॉप ग्रो नहीं की जा सकती है एट अ टाइम. ना मेज, ना बाजरा, ना ग्राउंडनट, नो अदर यील्ड. इट मीन्स इस लैंड का जिसके मल्टीपल यूजेस हो सकते हैं, सिर्फ एक यूज किया जा रहा है टू ग्रो वीट. देन इट मीन्स द अदर यूजेज ऑफ द लैंड हैज टू बी स्टॉप्ड. You know, some of the crops are there which needed more nitrogen, और कुछ ऐसे crops होते हैं जो नाइट्रोजन खींचते हैं ज़्यादा. So suppose one of the crop I have grown which has taken the maximum nitrogen from the soil. Now second, ऐसा कोई भी crop मैं लगा नहीं सकती उसमें जो नाइट्रोजन ज़्यादा लेता हो, because soil needs to regain its fertility. उसको regain करने का टाइम चाहिए होता है. regain करने की कंडीशन में क्या है, the multiple usage, the other usage of the land has stopped. Thus, in above mentioned conditions, distribution of factors of production is done in such a way that they satisfy to maximum possible demands. So, किसी भी factor को multiple uses लेना चाहिए जिससे कि हम उसका maximum utilization कर सकें. Okay? I hope till now this much portion is clear to you. अनलिमिटेड बॉन्ड्स, किस तरह से हम फैक्टर्स को डिसाइड कर सकते हैं कि उसका प्रोडक्शन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किस तरह होना चाहिए, एलोकेशन कैसा होना चाहिए. पहले हमारी अनलिमिटेड बॉन्ड्स हैं, उसमें हमें सिलेक्शन करना इम्पॉर्टेंट है. देन प्रायोरिटी सेट करनी है कि पहले कौन सा करना है और बाद में कौन सा कर सकते हैं. लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज हैं, इसलिए जितना हो सके उनको मैक्सिमम यूजेस करना चाहिए हमें, और बहुत सोच समझ के इसको यूज़ करना है विदाउट वेस्टिंग इट. ऑल्टरनेटिव यूजेस, अगर किसी भी फैक्टर के मल्टीपल यूजेस हैं तो वो मल्टीपल यूजेस होने चाहिए जिससे कि उस फैक्टर का मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइजेशन हो सके. ओके, पहले हमने पढ़ा फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. प्रोडक्शन के लिए क्या क्या फैक्टर्स इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, क्या क्या चीज़ें होनी चाहिए. लैंड होना चाहिए, कैपिटल होना चाहिए, लेबर होना चाहिए एंड देन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप होनी चाहिए. फिर अब उन फैक्टर्स को किस तरह से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया जाए, किस चीज़ पर हम ध्यान दें, यानी कि अनलिमिटेड बॉन्ड्स को कंट्रोल करना है हमें, इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्डर यानी नेसेसिटीज़ को आइडेंटिफाई करना है, लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज है यानी कि वेस्टेज नहीं, बहुत वाइजली बहुत पर्पसफुली यूज़ करना है. देन ऑल्टरनेटिव यूजेस, किसी भी रिसोर्स के मैक्सिमम यूजेस को हमें ट्राई करना है, मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइजेशन होना चाहिए, रिसोर्स वेस्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. देन नाउ मेथड्स ऑफ एलोकेटिंग ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, किस किस मेथड पे हम एलोकेशन कर सकते हैं. दो बेसिक मेथड्स हैं, मार्केट सिस्टम एंड सोशलिस्ट सिस्टम. ये दो तरह के मार्केट हैं जो डिसाइड करते हैं कि कंट्री में रिसोर्सेज किस किस जगह पे कितना कितना यूटिलाइज होगा. Okay. So methods of allocating resources, resources को किस तरह से allot किया जाए वो important है। किस किस तरह के systems हो सकते हैं जिसमें हम resources को use कर सकते हैं। Basically there are two types, market system and socialist system. Market system and socialist system. Every nation tries to attain speedy economic development by making the best possible allocation of resources. अपने resources को इतना use बहुत सोच समझ कर यूज़ किया जाए जिससे कि हमारे अनलिमिटेड वांट्स भी जस्टिफाई हो सकें, साथ ही साथ हमारे डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स को भी बेनिफिट हो और हमारी इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट जो है, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ है वो तेज़ हो सके, स्पीडी हो सके. व्हाट वी कैन डू? अलॉटमेंट ऑफ रिसोर्सेज इज मेनली डन बाय टू मेथड्स. द एलोकेशन कैन बी डन विद टू मेथड्स, मार्केट सिस्टम एंड सोशलिस्ट सिस्टम. Both the systems are opposite to each other. Both the systems are opposite to each other. By mingling both systems, many other methods have developed. Every country accepts one or the other method as per their requirement. Following in the explanation of method of allotment of resources. Now, both the systems are opposite to each other. Market system rotates around market. ठीक है? मार्केट सिस्टम जो होता है वो किसके आसपास घूमता है? मार्केट के. Nations like America, Japan, England have made their economic development through market system. Market system is also called capitalist system. Capitalist system. In this method, the process of resource allocation is done on the basis of profit scope. In this system, in production and its related activities, profit is at the center. People invest in those industries where they find more scope of profit. Market is completely free in this system. Government does not have any specific economic policy or does not play any role in the method. Competition plays a vital role in the market. In the competitive market, the owner has to increase working capacity to the greatest extent in order to obtain maximum profit. Because of this method, many new researches are done and new methods of production are created. So production is the maximum. Because of this fast economic development of the country takes place. This competition controls the whole market like invisible hand. As the state does not interfere in this system, is also known as free economy. It is also known as free economy. So basically, market system is controlled by market. Government does not have any interference in deciding the price or manufacturing of the products. Government कोई भी डिसीजन नहीं लेगा, सारे डिसीजंस मार्केट खुद लेगा. मार्केट यानी कि द प्रोड्यूसर्स एंड द बायर्स, राइट. कौन से कमोडिटीज को प्रोड्यूस करने में ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट है, मार्केट सिस्टम में वही प्रोड्यूस किया जाएगा. जो सबसे ज़्यादा प्राइस मैकेनिज्म जो है वो मार्केट डिसाइड करता है. देन प्रॉफिट इज द मेन एम. ऐसा ही प्रोडक्शन करना है जिसमें मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट हो सके. मैक्सिमम ऑफ द डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में ये सिस्टम प्रिवेलेंट है. डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज लाइक अमेरिका, जापान, इंग्लैंड, ऑल दीज कंट्रीज हैव दिस मार्केट सिस्टम. Allocation of रिसोर्सेज, इस बात पर रिसोर्सेज को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया जाता है कि कौन से प्रोडक्शन में ज़्यादा बेनिफिट है। जिस भी प्रोडक्शन में ज़्यादा बेनिफिट है, रिसोर्सेज उसको ज़्यादा यूटिलाइज करने को मिलेंगे। सपोज 3 sections are there, A, B and C। ये नॉर्मल आपका ईटेबल्स बनाते हैं, ये आपका एग्रो प्रोडक्ट्स बनाते हैं, एग्रो प्रोडक्ट्स। और ये आपको देते हैं कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। अब ये ईटेबल्स बनाते हैं, ये एग्रो प्रोडक्ट्स ग्रो करते हैं और ये कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं। सबसे ज़्यादा बेनिफिट सबसे ज़्यादा किस में है? कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। तो इसलिए अगर गवर्नमेंट जितने रिसोर्सेज है वो मैक्सिमम मोस्टली इसको देगी, क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट इसमें है। तो प्रॉफिट इज एट द सेंटर, प्रॉफिट इनका मेन एम होता है। क्योंकि कंपटीशन बहुत टफ है, इसलिए मार्केट में कंपटीशन बहुत टफ होगा, कंपटीशन होगा। वैरायटी फॉर द कंज्यूमर, वैरायटी होगी। न्यू इन्वेंशंस एंड रिसर्चेस न्यू रिसर्चेस होंगे, ठीक है, टू इम्प्रूव द क्वालिटी ऑफ द गुड एज वेल एज टू रिड्यूस द इन्वेस्टमेंट मनी। इन्वेस्टमेंट जो करना हो वो कम हो और प्रॉफिट ज़्यादा हो, ठीक है। न्यू रिसर्चेस विल बी डन, न्यू एडेप्टेशन ऑफ द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी विल बी डन। गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट हैव एनी स्पेसिफिक इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी। इस सिस्टम में, मार्केट में गवर्नमेंट का कोई इंटरफेरेंस नहीं है, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट के पास इसके लिए कोई भी स्पेसिफिक पॉलिसीज नहीं है। गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट प्ले एनी रोल इन द मेथड। इन दिस मेथड गवर्नमेंट इज कंप्लीटली नेग्लेक्टेड। कंपटीशन है, वैरायटी है, न्यू मेथड्स एंड न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करते हैं टू रिड्यूस द इन्वेस्टमेंट। देन मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्शन इन अ लिमिटेड रिसोर्स, क्योंकि ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट है इसलिए मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्शन लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस के साथ। देन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस टास्क इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ कंट्री टेक्स प्लेस, बिकॉज प्रोडक्शन इज मोर, मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज आर डन, इसलिए इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ भी वो बहुत स्पीड होती है। बिकॉज प्रोडक्शन इज इंक्रीजिंग, मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज इज यूज्ड एंड प्रॉफिट they are giving mostly the maximum profit, so government किसी भी कंट्री का डेवलपमेंट इजी हो जाता है, राइट। The whole competition controls the whole market like an invisible hand, as the state does not interfere in this system is also known as free economy। क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट का कोई भी इंटरफेरेंस नहीं है, ये मार्केट सिस्टम इंडिविजुअली खुद को अपने आप को हैंडल करता है, इसलिए इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज फ्री इकोनॉमी। सपोज A, B, C, D, अगर ये एक मोबाइल 5000 का बनाता है विद अ गुड क्वालिटी, तो इसको प्रॉफिट चाहिए, सारे कस्टमर इसके पास चल गए, तो इसने प्रॉफिट करने के लिए क्या किया? रिड्यूस कर दिया। 4000 में ही वो सारे बेनिफिट्स दिए मोबाइल के, तो सारे कस्टमर्स कहाँ जाएंगे? यहाँ जाएंगे। अब C को लगा कि मैं और प्राइस गिरा देता हूँ, C ने और प्राइस गिरा दिया और 3000 में सेम मोबाइल सेम फंक्शनिंग प्रोड्यूस की। कंज्यूमर किसके पास जाएगा? यहाँ पे सारे कंज्यूमर्स यहाँ चले जाएंगे। D ने सोचा हम इससे भी लेस अमाउंट पे करेंगे और ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन करेंगे, इन्होंने 2000 में वही फैसिलिटीज दी। तो क्या है? टफ कंपटीशन है, बिकॉज पीपल वांट मोर प्रॉफिट मोर प्रोडक्शन, सो टफ कंपटीशन है मार्केट में, इसलिए इट इज कॉल्ड एज कंपटीशन इज कंट्रोल controlling the whole production as invisible hand in the economy. Features of market system. Ownership of resources of production is either individual or private, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट का कोई भी इंटरफेरेंस नहीं है, तो इनकी ओनरशिप किसके पास होती है, या तो प्राइवेट या इंडिविजुअल. अ पर्सन और अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल आर द ओनर. प्रॉफिट इज द एट सेंटर ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी इन मार्केट सिस्टम. इनका मेन एम क्या है, प्रॉफिट. प्रॉफिट जहां ज्यादा होगा, प्रोडक्शन वहां ज्यादा होगा. कंज्यूमर्स आर getting good opportunity of choices. As I told you that there is tough competition in the market. Consumer के पास variety है, ये भी ऑप्शन हो सकता है, ये भी ऑप्शन हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है at a very reasonable price. Government interference is not there in system, as government plays no role in handling this market system. Distribution of resources is based on profit. Distribution of resources जो होते हैं वो सारे के सारे profit पे ही डिसाइड होते हैं. जिसमें ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट, उस चीज़ की कमोडिटी की प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा होगी. इकोनॉमिक डिसीजंस आर टेकन वाइल कीपिंग प्राइस मैकेनिज्म इन माइंड. जितने भी इकोनॉमिक डिसीजंस होंगे वो सब प्रॉफिट यानी कि प्राइस को ध्यान में रखकर लिए जाएंगे. यूटिलाइजेशन, प्रोडक्शन, कस्टमर्स, जितना प्रॉफिट होगा उस पर उतना ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा. वी हैव डिस्कस मार्केट सिस्टम. In the next video, we will discuss the drawbacks, the benefits and limitations of market system. Till now, go through each and every line thoroughly, try to understand it, how it works, and write at least 10 MCQ form and 10 to 10 fill-up forms in the covered portion. Thank you.